And we're live. And you'll notice Flip is not here yet. He is fashionably late, as we expected. He texted me a little while ago, said that he had ordered Chili's and it was not ready in time. So he will be here as soon as humanly possible. Let's see if we can get some people in here. But tonight, to make up for Flip being late, we have Eric, the wonderful Asian movie enthusiast. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing pretty good.
That is good. And for those that don't know, Eric is a machine. He posts how many videos on average do you post a week? Like 6?
Three.
3? Oh, come on. I feel like there's something new every day.
Occasionally I'll do like a collaboration or something like that. So it's sometimes a little bit more than 3, yeah.
And it's all really good content. He knows his shit. So make sure that you're following Eric. What's going on, Cam? Glad you're here tonight. Yeah, so tonight, once Flip gets here, we're going to be talking about found footage movies. It's only 2 Musketeers at the moment, but Flip will be here, I promise. Foo is here. What's going on, Foo? Stendhal, how you doing? Jeff, my friend. Eric's here, and Maximus. Hope everybody's doing well. With how crazy the last week has been, I feel like it's been like 2 weeks since we've done the show. So I'm like just stoked to see everybody. It's been a long time. Plus, I took my family to the Royals game on Sunday here in Kansas City. It was my youngest first baseball game, and my oldest, it was the first one that he'll remember. And it was our first like kind of hot day. But on top of that, they ended up losing 17-3. And we stayed for the entire game. And hopefully Flip is going to have a picture here soon.
I will have a picture later. The kiddo's still awake, so.
How we doing? Good to hear you.
Good to hear you, my friend.
And
Eric, long time no talk.
How's it going?
How the hell you been, brother?
I've been pretty awesome.
Well, you are
Eric,
awesome, so.
Eric posted a review of Dr. Lamb, which is coming out from Unearthed Films here in July or June or something like that. It's coming this summer. Either way, make sure you give that a watch. Unearthed Films does some really underrated work, I think. I think that they get kind of overlooked because a lot of their stuff is just extreme, and that's not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that. But they include like a lot of extras, a lot of like documentaries, the type of stuff that we love. Like The Untold Story has a full Cat 3 documentary on it. So make sure you are checking those out at some point.
And
Flip,
Eric,
go ahead.
I was going to ask, Eric, is it worthwhile to get Dr. Lamb?
Here's the thing. I think if I were to rank Category 3 films, it's not going to be high on my list. But it's got Simon Yam, and I'm looking forward to the Blu-ray because the film is shot very nice. It looks very good. And it has just enough inappropriate content to satisfy, I think. But it's not one of my top favorite Cat 3 films, personally.
Awesome.
And for the record, what would like the top 3 or 4 of those be?
Yeah.
Run and Kill, which is getting a release from Error 4444, I think, eventually.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would say Red to Kill, which is also getting a release, I think, from Error 4444. Those are 2 high ones. And then you can't really count Ricky O because it's kind of an action comedy, but that counts. And then maybe something like a Chinese torture chamber story, which is like a historical, action comedy, sex comedy, which is really hilarious.
Historical action sex comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds awesome.
I just got tingly in like 9 different places,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even sure why.
And 8 of them were in your penis.
Lisa's here. What's going on? And Dave. Hey, Dave. Flip, how was Chili's?
I didn't finish it all because I wanted to come to the show at a reasonable time, not be too late. But it was Chili's, It was mediocre at best, and every time I go to Chili's, I remember that kid that's now dead that would go, "Hi, welcome to Chili's." You remember that Vine? He passed. So every time I eat Chili's, I get sad. Think about that dead kid.
Sponsored by Chili's.
Everybody go to Chili's.
The best mediocre restaurant ever.
Speaking of in memoriam, it would be rough today to not bring up Gilbert Gottfried. So I made a list of all of his best films, and you can see them here.
Hey, he was in one of the
my
Beverly
God,
Hills
that's
Cop
good.
movies.
That's so fucking good. I thought my screen froze. Black, you know.
Personally, like I loved Gilbert Gottfried, but his filmography is not great. Like Aladdin is a classic, but does voice acting count? We had this conversation in a group chat earlier, and yeah, it just doesn't. Like his best film might be Problem Child. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stindal asked, "What am I talking about?" And on Vine, there was a kid that got famous for saying, "Hi, welcome to Chili's," and he walked in shirtless. That kid died.
Yep. What's going on, Matthew? Yeah, Maximus says Godfrey reading 50 Shades of Grey is a classic in and of itself.
Wait, did he read the whole thing?
If not the whole thing, it was a lot of it, and
Oh my
he
God.
he did different segments, and they were all just fucking hilarious.
That's awesome.
He was also really, this is going to be a weird thing to like talk good about somebody, but he was really big on Cameo and did some
Yes.
hilarious things for people.
Ryan, I almost hired him to make an ad for Flippos. Like I thought about it for like a month because it was like I want to say like maybe $500 for commercial use, and I was like, how good would it be if he was just like, every other pizza sucks ass, and just oh man, rest in peace though.
Yeah, he is hilarious, and honestly, I mean, the fact that we so many comedians in the last 4 or 5 months or whatever, we've lost some really big names. And
Yeah,
although
hopefully
I joke,
Jeremy Long's next.
oh, fuck.
I'm kidding. I love him. I love you, Jeremy. I'm only saying that because he's always fucking with me.
Oh, that was really good. And honestly, the fact that he always calls you Artie Lang, and Artie Lang is still alive,
How?
and some of these people are not. I mean, his liver has to be like
He doesn't have a
at
nose.
this point. Right.
He doesn't have a nose. Have you guys seen his nose recently?
No, he doesn't have one.
Dude, Ryan, pull up Artie Lang's nose now for Eric because it's horrifying.
Oh, I mean,
It's like that's a fucking Cat 3 movie in and of itself. It's just Artie Lang's nostril.
Is he a tumbling doll of flesh? Is that what you're saying?
It looks like that, dude. It's horrifying, man. I've never seen anything like it.
I hate that I'm about to bring this photo up.
You know, I'm such an idiot. I thought Artie Lang was on Curb Your Enthusiasm because I haven't seen a single episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I just found out last night he wasn't.
Huh.
The Keith Richards
Okay.
of comedy.
Share screen.
Yeah, look at this, Eric. It's
If
horrifying.
you can't do it,
dude.
that's okay.
That's pretty good.
Oh my gosh. What happened to this guy?
Cocaine
Lots and lots of drugs.
being awesome.
What happened to his nose?
Cocaine.
Lots
That's what
and
happens
lots
when you do
of
that.
drugs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you're like if like you do so much cocaine, your like nostrils, like your nasal cavities, whatever.
It
collapse.
basically collapsed in on itself. Yeah.
That's why I love being on this show. I learn something new every time. Fascinating.
Hey, who said that we aren't educational here?
I know.
Oh man. So let's do some pickups. Eric, you got anything this time?
I got a handful. I
Let's
got
do
some
it.
two big time ones here. I finally got the Arrow release of Deep Red.
Nice.
So that's a big one. I have not seen this on Blu-ray yet, so I'm really looking forward to that. And someone mentioned this in the green room, but I got both of the Zerum movies on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Zerum
great
and
set of movies.
Zerum 2.
There is
Yes.
no way in hell that I legitimately, organically just brought that up before we went live.
Wait,
and you actually
why?
had them.
Why did you bring that up, Ryan? Because that's not your type of movie. What's happening?
I brought them up because I said I got a pickup this week, and I normally just show my patrons most of my pickups, but I saved one to share on this, and it's something that you recommended, and the only reason I bought it is because Eric has talked about it so much, and I said, don't worry, it's not something like Zerum 2. It is something that everybody looks at and thinks is an amazing film.
That's pretty good.
Sardis says, sorry I'm late, just had a few tornadoes come through.
Yikes.
Holy hell, I hope you're all right. Also,
Yes.
Yeah, we have people already bunkered down in my neighborhood. They're posting online like, if anybody needs extra water, we've got extra gallons here. So if I ever leave, we had a good run, guys. I love you all.
I was just about to say, Ryan, we're getting ready for that in our area.
Yeah, probably tomorrow morning.
Yep, can't wait.
I did pick up a few anime adaptations and or manga adaptations that I think are actually pretty good. I got both of the Parasite films on Blu-ray, and I think these are actually pretty solid live action adaptations. Not as good as the anime, but they're good. And then I'll go to bat for these, and I'm kind of in the minority, but the two Death Note movies from 2006 I think are pretty solid adaptations of that.
I mean, they're much better than the Netflix adaptation.
Yeah. I got 2LDK, of course.
Yes. So, for those who don't know, 2LDK and Origami, the director of 2LDK challenged Ryuhei Kitamura, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
To make a movie in one setting with like just a couple actors. So 2LDK was his movie, and then Origami was Kitamura's. And 2LDK is, I think, the better of the two.
I agree.
In my opinion.
And then finally, after 11 years, 11 freaking years, I finally have acquired The Warped Forest.
Woo! Did you see it?
I did.
What are your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I'll have a review up with my details, but yeah, I've been looking for that movie forever. So,
worth the wait?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I think so.
I didn't pay attention because of the Error 4444 release. Is that a double feature with the other one too, or is that just...
Yes.
Okay.
Funky Force is also in there. I did order the Error 4444, and then when they delayed it, I'm like, screw this, and I double ordered it. So I'm going to get two copies because I got the third Windows release, which is
why not? Third window needs all the support they can get, genuinely. I got a few, and I'll also throw up before we stop talking about Asian films so much. I also just reviewed 2LDK. Really fun movie. Videos on my channel. First pickup for the week. I'll have to shout out my wife. She propositioned me with this horror movies and chill shirt, and had to wear it tonight.
That's good.
Last week I put up a video with my kids, and a lot of people seem to like it. And my kid is most excited to watch the new Spider-Man No Way Home, and this steelbook is already sold out everywhere. So stoked I pre-ordered that.
Was that Best Buy exclusive?
Yes. And then I have two more to show. One is a Flip pickup. One is an Eric pickup. The Flip pickup is The Immortal. I'm trying to get all of these in before I start the series.
Starring our good friend Matt Shields.
That way I've got... That was funny. Yeah, so waiting to get all of these in, and then my wife and I are going to watch the whole run of all of the series and the movie. And then the Eric movie that I've been alluding to for the last 20 minutes, including offline, is I finally picked up so I can watch Chocolate.
Oh, all right. I think you'll like that one.
I've never watched it, and it was featured on another podcast a couple weeks ago, and then I heard Eric reference it again in one of the movies that I was waiting for. It's like, okay, fine, universe, I'll pick it up. So I ordered it, and I can finally watch it.
Chocolate. With J-Lo.
Flip, any pickups you want to talk about or not show
yet? I got SamuraiDVD.com picked up The Bounty Hunter. I've talked about this as a movie series before. 3 movies, all starring Tomonosuke Wakayama. There was a 12-episode TV show, very, very short-lived. Picked up that TV show. Picked up Cold Wind Manjuro, which was a film series, 2 films. And then I got a TV show, which was most of it was directed by Kon Ichikawa, which he's a pretty big director. And then I got all of the you guys have seen the Shogun Samurai, directed by Kenji Fukasaku, starring Sonny Chiba. It got a TV series. I had seasons 2 and 3. Finally picked up season 1. So those are all my pickups for this week.
Nice. And then after that, Sardis says, "What's with Flip's video? Did you time out him?"
Yes, no, I am naked.
His kid is still awake, so he's waiting until they go down so that we can see him. Now we normally talk about recent watches. Eric, you want to share anything?
Oh, yes. Recently, I checked out a movie called Cop Shop from 2021.
Yeah.
That's a good flick, dude.
Great movie, man.
I heard good things about it, and I went in with moderate expectations, and that was a pretty solid thriller with a nice dose of black humor in it. Very entertaining. So I recommend Cop Shop. I checked out 2 Italian crime flicks from the 70s, The Heroin Busters and The Big Racket. Those were solid.
Yeah, those are getting Arrow releases.
And then there was a recent Indonesian film called Photocopier that I'll probably have to review at some point, which is pretty interesting. It's about it's kind of hard to explain without spoiling it, but it's about like a club in like college, and like the guy who's in charge of like the art club does some nefarious stuff to some of the girls, and it goes from there. But it was a pretty good flick. It's on Netflix.
Nice. I watched 2LDK and Mad Dog Morgan and reviewed both of those, and then topped off that triple threat with finally watching with my wife True Romance in 4K, and man, that movie still hits so hard. And that Arrow release, if you are interested in any way, the US release of that coming out, I would 100% recommend it. There is so much on those discs, and that Steelbook, that limited edition, it has like everything you can imagine. Postcards. It's got a sticker of the tattoo on the inside, double-sided poster. It's a steelbook and a hard box with the giant book and so many extras. It is just such a wonderful movie. And the 4K, I know I raved about it last year, but it just, watching the whole film, the colors in that movie are amazing. And then the last thing, I am probably going to be reviewing this next week, but the Vinegar Syndrome release of Reform Schoolgirls is so much fun. This movie is great. One of the better Vinegar Syndrome movies, and it's just legitimately a fun film. It's a whole bunch of women just doing crazy shit, and it's great. What about you, Flip?
I went to the theater last night for the first time since Rise of the Skywalker.
Ooh.
Yeah, went and saw Ambulance by Michael Bay. Fucking awesome. I was the only person in the IMAX too. It was the only, like, I like walked in and I go, yeah, can I get one for Ambulance? And the guy goes, do you want to pick your seat? And I was like, do I have to? And he was like, well, normally we prefer it, but you're literally the only person who's bought tickets. And then I get in there, had the whole place to myself, so I took my shoes off, kicked my feet up, and I was cheering and screaming at certain parts. Dude, when are people going to put some respect on Michael Bay's name? That man is an action movie auteur. He is incredible. Dude, this movie's fucking awesome. It's cheesy. It's got some really funny one-liners, and the action is just top tier action. Jake Gyllenhaal is coked out of his mind throughout the entire movie, like just coked out, his eyes wide. He's hilarious. There's a part where the girl that's in the ambulance, she's like, I don't like having guns pointed at my head. And he goes, well, I don't like having herpes, but we just got to live with our consequences, or something like that. Just hilarious. I think one of the best shootouts since Heat ever. So the movie starts off. There's a character, and it's played by what's his name?
Candyman.
Is he Candyman? Habu. Yeah. So it's played by him. He is the best character in this whole movie. He's just incredible. Incredible actor. He was in something that I didn't like. I feel like he was just in something that I wasn't too hot on, but he was the best part of that movie. But he kills it in this movie. So it opens up with him. You can tell that he was a Marine. His wife needs some kind of surgery. They have a young kid, and by young I mean probably maybe 6 months old. She needs a life-saving surgery, but because it's experimental, the insurance company won't pay for it. So he goes to his brother, who is Jake Gyllenhaal. He was adopted by Jake and his dad. Jake's dad, well, their dad used to be one of the biggest bank robbers in all of America. Yes, he's in the new Matrix. That's what I thought. Yeah, he was Morpheus. That's what I didn't like him. But I didn't like that movie. But he goes to Jake, who's rich, and he was like, "Hey, I can give you the money, but we're gonna go rob this bank. $32 million. Come on, let's go." And the guy's like, "I can't do it." He's like, "God!" I just screaming at him. He's like, "Let's go!" So they go. Chaos ensues. But someone told Michael Bay what drones are because this movie has some of the coolest drone shots ever. Like there's one where it starts off on top of a skyscraper and it goes all the way down to street level and then follows the action. Like just really cool stuff. There's one where it goes through a tunnel and when it comes out, there's cars jumping over the drone.
Jeez.
Yeah, just really cool. I don't know how they made that movie for $40 million because there are explosions left and right, cars getting destroyed. It's wild. I mean, the whole chase, like the movie is a Grand Theft Auto 5-star rating if it was a 2.5-hour movie. Because in the first 15 minutes is just setup, and then the rest of it is action, and it is fucking awesome. And I've seen some people give it bad reviews. If you did not enjoy that, if you left the theater and was like, "That's bad," you are a soulless, joyless flesh husk, filled
And
to
a lot
the
of people
brim
are.
with denial. Just fucking, dude. This doesn't. When I left that, and I called a friend, and I was like, "Dude, you guys go see it." He's like, "Michael Bay sucks, bro," and I was like, "What? Pain and Gain, Bad Boys 1 and 2, 13 Hours, Transformers 1 even. Like, just fucking, he's an action movie auteur."
Most of the Transformers movies are not great movies, but they're entertaining as hell.
Yes, I mean, the action is what the standout of those movies are.
Right.
The
You know?
Rock, baby.
Yeah, The Rock is great.
I was going to say that.
But yeah, I actually went to his IMDb page. For a guy who's so prolific, he's only directed like, I think it's like 13 movies or some shit like that.
Hasn't he produced a lot of shit, though?
Yeah, he has produced a lot. I really like him. I think we need to put some respect on his name because he is
I agree.
he's such a good director. But besides Ambulance, I watched Devil's Temple, which is a Kinji Mizumi movie starring Shitaro Katsu, and it was it was an hour and like 18 minutes. It was so short, great little story. More of like a horror movie, but it wasn't like straight up horror. It was it's about this guy who this revolt happened a few years ago, and they burned this Buddhist temple down, but it's kind of what preserved. This guy lives in there with 2 succubuses. I'm gay for Bay too, dude, 100%. And yeah, it was just a weird movie. It was really well acted. Shitaro Katsu, it's always good to see him as the villain instead of a blind happy guy. I so Shitaro Katsu got caught with drugs a lot in his life, but he always just played dumb about it. Like he got caught in Hawaii with cocaine in his underwear, and when he had to do, because in Japan, if you get caught with something like that, you have to really beg for forgiveness. And he was just like, I guess I'll just never wear underwear again. And everyone was like, oh, that's all right. You're a cool guy. Just forgave him. Food for Thought and I did a podcast today, and he brought something to my attention. I don't know if you heard about this, Eric. Did you hear about Tak Sakaguchi?
No.
So you know the Shion Sono stuff going on right now?
Yeah.
Apparently Tak picked a girl up, drove her to Shion Sono's house, dropped her off, and that's where she was sexually assaulted. So he had to put out a video apologizing. And he looks really fucking sad in the video. So I don't know if he knew, because if he didn't know, that's really heartbreaking, because I love Tak.
Yeah.
But if he didn't know, that's even more heartbreaking, because he probably feels terrible about it.
Yeah.
So
you just mentioned it. Do you want to bring up the Foo thing?
Oh yeah. So me and Food for Thought right here, Sean, we started a podcast. It's gonna be bi-weekly. It's called Talking Swords. It's on everything, Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. It is a bi-weekly podcast where we talk about samurai, yakuza, and wuxia cinema. Today's episode, we just shot the shit. But in 2 weeks, we will be doing a big Yojimbo retrospective. Because it's not just Yojimbo and Sanjuro. Mifune really milked that character late in his career. So pretty fun.
And I'm not sure if you can confirm or deny, but I also hear you're also bi-weekly. Is that true?
Yes, I am. I am bi-weekly. I am the. I'm the B in LGBTQ plus.
So let's go through some comments. Sardis says he finally watched season 4 and 5 of The Shield, as
So
well
close.
as his normal film binge. I want to know what you thought. Make sure you put that down there, Sardis. Dave says he rewatched Paw, but I think that was going to be right below that. He said, I rewatched Planet of the Apes OG last night, still a classic. Fu wants me to review. Fu wants me to review Dracula Sucks, the
Yes,
4K
please do.
porno from Vinegar Syndrome.
Please do.
Dave also enjoyed Moonfall last week. And Jeff watched Wake in Fright. Have you got either of you ever seen Wake in Fright?
No.
It is a folk horror film, I believe, from the UK, and it's pretty deep, just like Jeff says, pretty deep and disturbing, pretty damn good. Lissa says, watch Deep Red, V, and Black Sunday last Saturday. V is so much damn fun.
Yeah.
John says, an ambulance was no match for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Supposedly, it's genuinely an incredible film. Let's see. Sardis watched The Balcony with Shelley Winters and Peter Falk and Leonard Nimoy. Jean Genet was one of the writers. Interesting film overall. And then I know we all love this one. Dave says he watched Fury last night. Epic. And Stendhal says, why would anybody want to arrest Satoichi? John is making me jealous. He said, I had some friends last night, saw The Northman and raved about it. And then Sardis says Forrest Whitaker was outrageous. Absolutely. All right. And we're caught up. So, anything else before we break into this week's topic, Flip? Oh, Flip's out. He's probably talking to his kid, saying goodnight. John says it's Ozploitation. Which one? Oh, man. Now I want to know what you're talking about. Last Michael Bay I saw was Pain and Gain. I have to admit, I've never seen Pain and Gain. I've wanted to see it for a long time. And
Me neither. I haven't seen it.
I've heard it's really good, but I've just missed it. And I really, this is going to sound hilarious, but I really want to see Sonic 2. My kid is super excited for it, and I am as well. Flip's back also. Oh, Wake in Fright. Got it. Fuzz, what's going on? I thought Flip was back. Maybe I was incorrect. So we're going to get to tonight's topic. And I had some, once I posted the screenshot for today, I had literally a couple people say, is Flip going to be in the show tonight? Because he doesn't like horror.
Those motherfuckers will be wrong.
Yeah.
Because let's get something straight. Is that I think I talked to Sean about this, but I was huge into horror in high school, like massive. I think I just got burned out of it, and but because I'm such good friends with Ryan, he is like he has made me dip my toes back. I've been watching a lot of Giallo movies, and I like them. I love them. They're good.
Nice,
good fun. Dario Argento. Italian's just fucking cool. So.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know how to say this username, but they just watched The Sadness last night. Have you seen that yet, Eric?
No, I don't even know where it's available. I'm looking forward to it, though.
It is playing at, it is an Asian, is it zombies? I think it's zombies, right?
Probably. I'm intentionally not looking into it too much because I want to be surprised.
Yeah,
I want to go into it fresh.
It's one of those very gory, bloody type films that's going to be the big selling point. It's playing at a local film festival here in like 2 weeks called Panic Fest. And currently you can pre-order. There is, I believe it's a 4K Steelbook from Amazon Germany.
Okay.
Nerd says it is zombies. Yes.
So you were having trouble pronouncing that name. It's Swedish. It says. So that's how you say it.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
Okay, so found footage. Obviously, not all found footage is horror. And I talked this up with Eric before we went live. So Flip, I apologize to bring this up again. Hopefully you're on the same page. I told Eric I am purposefully leaving what I think are the main 5 like cornerstones of found footage. And
What
I
do you
do
think those are?
I think you're going to have a couple on the list, so I'll wait till afterwards just in case if you want.
Okay.
But found footage, obviously not just horror. It is known for being, and I said this to Eric, there's like 30 amazing or 30 that are at least good found footage movies, and then the rest are just bottom of the barrel trash. So I think that it is important to not completely walk away from found footage because it's found footage, but there are some real gems in here. So, Flip, why don't we go with your number 5?
We're doing 5. Okay, I thought we were doing top 3, bottom 3. We're doing 5. Number 5 is Cloverfield. Obviously, classic movie. I think it's the only good J.J. Abrams movie. I think he's a bad director outside of that one movie. What they've done with the franchise is a little sad. I
Very
think
shoehorned.
very shoehorned. I think Cloverfield Lane's fine, but yeah, that first movie, when I first saw it, I was like, man, this is the kaiju movie I wanted. It felt scary. It felt real. I think the monster design is great. And I gotta say, that fandom is one of the weirdest fandoms. I'm on the Reddit page for Cloverfield, and they are fucking wild.
J.J.
Matt
Abrams,
Reeves.
he only
Well,
produced
there you go. Well, there you go. That's why it's good. But yeah, that's my number 5. I will be talking about my top 3 a little bit more because I thought we were doing top 3, bottom 3.
I apologize.
So I just pulled Cloverfield out of
footage. That would have been bad.
I just pulled Cloverfield out of my ass. But yeah, that is a good movie.
That was a nice pull. Eric, you got a number 5?
Yeah, I just pulled it out of my rear end too. It's a movie I saw fairly recently, and it's a movie called Creep from 2014. So this movie is it's American, has a big infusion of comedy in it too. It's about a young videographer. He answers an online ad for a one-day job in a remote town to record the last messages of a dying man. But then this guy starts acting kind of weird, to say the least. And our protagonist starts questioning this guy's intentions. It's only like 75 minutes long. It's nice and tight. There are some cheap jump scares here and there that are used, but there are some like legitimate slow burn suspense sequences too that are earned through mostly dialogue. It's very dialogue heavy, but I think it uses it very well. A little bit of black humor and some little surprises, and it does get creepy near the end. So I do recommend Creep and its sequel. Those are pretty good movies.
Creep is brought to you by the Duplass brothers, who are founding members of the Mumblecore movement. And Creep is one of, in my opinion, the best Mumblecore movies out there. It is genuinely 90% of the film is just driven by the dialogue. What happens in the background, it is hardly ever useful in the story. But Mark Duplass alone, his ability to carry that film is shocking. When you see him in other things like The League and the random comedy stuff that he did for so long, it was really good and he's hilarious in them, but he absolutely takes Creep and its sequel into territories that you should never ever go with him, and it's just fantastic. And the cool thing, Creep and I believe the sequel were both filmed very near to where I grew up. I believe they were both filmed in like Lake Elsinore, California.
I have a question.
Yes, you in the back.
Is Mumble? So I was in drama. Is Mumblecore basically just like when you would go up on stage and just free ball it, try to get like you have a basic gist of what's going on, what you need to happen, you have to just freestyle it?
Mumblecore, as far as I understand it, and I will pull up the page right now so I don't sound like an idiot, but Mumblecore is a subgenre of independent film characterized by naturalistic acting and dialogue that is sometimes improvised, low-budget film production, an emphasis on dialogue over plot, and a focus on personal relationships of young people. So it is generally focused on like millennials and below, and the main point for Mumblecore is that you have to be a movie that has great dialogue, or the movie's going to fall flat.
Yep.
And both of the sequels go all in on it easily. And as far as I remember, they are both Netflix originals, so there is no physical media. I think there was a DVD for Creep. I'm not sure if the sequel ever got one, but it was supposed to get a third one, and they are supposedly still working on a script for that. That was also one of mine, so I will go to one of my others. One that I don't think anybody else is going to mention tonight, so I'll go for that. Number 5 is Searching with John Cho. It is a different type of found footage that is primarily one of the in-screen found footage, kind of like Host, the pandemic film, where it's all based on like webcams, chat rooms, stuff like that. And Searching is the story of John Cho, whose daughter suddenly goes missing, and he has only seen her as like this perfect student, really obedient daughter and all that stuff. So when she goes missing and he starts trying to find out why, he finds out that he didn't know a lot about her. And the police are dropping every ball that they possibly can. So he does what he can to help solve it. And the way that they are able to advance the timeline and still advance the story when you're only literally looking at screens and like video calls, and like there's news broadcasts that he brings up at the same time. It is really well done, and something that I think is the only reason Host was able to be as effective as it was for people.
I've never even heard of it.
I saw
really
a
good.
trailer for it, and it looked pretty. The trailer is pretty effective, so I was interested in seeing it, but I just never got around to it.
Yep, it is a good one. Highly recommend it.
My number 4. Is it my turn again?
Yes, sir.
Number 4, Wreck. Is it Wreck or Report? How do you pronounce it? Wreck.
I say
Fucking
Wreck.
great movie. Scared the shit out of me as a young person. I saw that in theaters with my mom. She also was very scared shitless. but yeah, there's 2 versions of that, right? The American one has what's her name? Carpenter from Dexter, right?
Oh yeah, Charisma Carpenter.
Am I thinking of a different movie?
The one in the U.S. is called Quarantine.
Right.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, but Wreck is a fantastic film, and I think Shout Factory has
Jennifer
Wreck.
Carpenter.
Jennifer Carpenter. Shout Factory has the box.
Yes,
I own that movie. I own those movies. So Wreck 2.
Wreck 2 is still, it's good, nowhere near as good as the first, and then I think it's the third one is bad, and then isn't there a fourth one that gets pretty decent again? Or is there only
I haven't
3?
seen. I haven't seen anything past that.
I don't remember.
I think the fourth one might have been the girl in the wedding dress, maybe.
Yes.
That one was pretty good. It was kind of an upgrade over 3, I thought, if I remember correctly.
Alrighty, number 4, Mr. Eric.
All right, start to get to some interesting stuff here. I got to go to Japan a few times. This one's pretty nasty. It's called Muzan-e, also known as Celluloid Nightmares.
Interesting.
From 1999. And it's basically it's a reporter who investigates the underground snuff film industry. So the production values are very like low grade, and it's a positive for this type of film because you got this lady with a camcorder going into like these underground things, and she starts with like the adult video industry, and there's some pretty dodgy scenes in this one where she's because she gets like a tip, like these kind of these particular adult video filmographers are getting into some really dangerous stuff, and she starts researching it, and you start to get it's kind of like a little bit exploitative at the start, but that kind of fades as the film goes along, and you get some really kind of good suspense and good acting as the film moves along. And there's actually pixelation that's used in this, but it's used to good effect because it's kind of like it adds to the realism of the violence at times. And then the ending is completely unexpected. I never saw it coming. It's only like 65 minutes long.
What happens at the ending?
What was it?
What happens at the end?
Don't spoil it.
I can't spoil it. But the director, I think his name is Yamanouchi, and he did some pretty oddball stuff back in the day, like the Red Room movies and stuff like that. So he's a very low budget, grimy director. But this, I think, is his best film because it actually has a pretty interesting kind of plot progression to it. I recommend this. It'll surprise people if they watch it, I think.
What was it called again?
Celluloid Nightmares, also known as Muzan-E. I think it got a DVD release in the U.S.
Fu says, I hope there's no guinea pig films on anyone's list. I remember seeing those for the first time and thinking they were legitimate. Like the first one, a legitimate stuff.
Charlie Sheen did too.
I think I saw it on was it Best Gore, that old website where they would just post like execution videos and shit. I've been watching a lot of execution videos lately, and
yeah, I can't do that.
I've been watching them and then being like getting it right to the part where the dude gets his head cut off or whatever, and I'd be like, Mom, look at this, and I'll just point my camera, my phone around, and she's like, why would you, what? It was just like she gets upset. I don't know why. I think they're fun.
Wow.
Eric's just like.
Eric, I think there is. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was
keep going. Just keep going.
I was just gonna say there's an execution video. Like what got me on this kick was someone sent me this video, and it's like ISIS got like a 4K camera, and it took away from the horror because it looked like it was in a movie. They like color graded it, put a filter on it, but it was a real beheading video. I was like, man, what the fuck? So I don't know. There's this subreddit called iBletch. There's iBleach and there's
iBleach.
Bletch.
Yeah.
No, but there's one called iBletch.
Right.
BL, and it's just awesome. So I would check.
See, I love nasty gore, but it's got to be fake for me to enjoy it.
Same.
Yeah, but what? So that's why I've been watching it is like because it makes me upset. Why is it we can watch something and it looks just as real as it looks just the same as if it's in a movie, but it emotionally affects us differently?
Because we're not insane, and we can distinguish between fiction and reality.
Exactly.
That's true.
So your description of that made me desperately want to see that, and I went to Amazon, and the DVD showed unavailable, so I took to eBay. Look at this. This is the only one available.
Whoa!
Oh.
Someone needs to re-release that one. I think people will like it. It's a little nasty, but people like it.
Maybe Sloppy Seconds has it because that seems like a Sloppy Second.
Oh yeah, they actually might. That's not a bad idea at all. All right, so my number 4. Trying to figure out which ones you probably will not mention. I'm gonna go with one I just talked about with Fu on my channel a couple weeks ago, and go with Hell House LLC. I love the theme of setting a horror film around a haunt, which has gotten so big over the last decade. Obviously they existed before, like the Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights and all that, but now they're in most cities. You can go find a haunt any year. And even though the movie, I believe, wasn't it called Haunt? There is a haunt film, and then there's another one. I think it was Bloodfest, or something like
Bloodfest,
that.
Yeah.
So that was another one set at a haunt, but I think
Hellfest.
That's the
Hellfest.
one. Thank you. So I think Hell House LLC is actually the better of those films. And it, I believe, only has a DVD available, not a Blu-ray. But the movie is about a group that I believe they were in New York and then traveled to a smaller area to set up a haunt. And as they are learning about this place that they're renovating to be able to schedule a haunt at, things are starting to go not according to plan, and then the night that they open, it just goes off the rails, and it's awful. Hell House LLC is genuinely creepy in a few scenes. What happens in the basement is unnerving beyond belief, and it's really well acted for a found footage film.
What happens in the basement?
There is... I'm not going to spoil everything.
I'm going to watch it probably this week. Don't spoil it for me.
There is a character that is supposed to be just sitting there, and the way that they film everything, it appears to be, I believe it's all camera trickery, but it's done really well. I'll leave it at that.
What's going on, John? Hope you're having a good night, buddy.
And Food for Thought says shit sequels though. I still have not seen either one, but yeah, they have made 3 of them. I didn't even know they made a 3rd one. I know they made a 2nd one.
Hell House Elves. That's a good title. Because isn't there a Hell House near us, Ryan, where the guys like abuse you? It's like a haunted house where they like beat the shit out of you. You have to sign a waiver.
I don't know if it's the same name, but yeah, there probably is.
It's something. I mean, you can only name your thing, so
right.
Like,
Especially
only,
when it's genuinely a haunted house and you're going for the alliteration. Yeah.
I've seen footage of that place I was telling you about. I think it's called Hell House. And it looks horrible. They literally assault you.
Yep.
Cool.
You can
my number 3, Chronicle.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I think we both missed that.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Flip.
oh yeah, I paid $200 to get hit with a rod. My number 3 is Chronicle. I
told you he'd say that.
wish. Yeah, it's what do you mean? What do you mean?
I told Eric, no, nothing wrong with that. I said I'm purposely not going to put it on my list because Flip's going to say it. I want us to be able to talk about more films.
Okay, Chronicle is just fantastic. Sad that director went on and just did nothing else that was good. Yep. Fantastic Four and Capone. What in the world? But there was supposed to be a series. Like he was supposed to do a sequel. And I think a really cool use of like showing security camera footage mixed in with the camcorder stuff. Just I think it's it stands out because most found footage movies are horror movies. This one's a superhero or a super villain story. Yep. But yeah, did you guys like Chronicle?
No. I was hoping you wouldn't ask. Although I only saw one time. So I bet you if I went back and saw it, I would probably like it. It was probably a little different from what I was expecting. Not a big Dane DeHaan guy. I don't know. Something about him. I think he was probably a problem for me. But if I went back and who knows, I might like it a little bit more.
Didn't they just recently announce that they were starting production on the 2nd Chronicle finally?
Are they?
I thought that was like a pandemic announcement that they had, that it was going to be like ramping up. I don't know. I'm still keeping up hope. Genuinely, I did like Chronicle quite a lot. I think the only time I saw it was in the theater, but yeah, it's good. I thought the acting was decent enough. Obviously it felt a little low budget for what it was, and at that point, I think for a lot of people, found footage was kind of tired because of the year that it came out and everything that it was following up. But I think that it set itself apart because it was a wildly different genre, and it was ahead of the MCU and DCEU stuff. So maybe if it came out in like 2012 or 2013, it would have been, well, I guess kind of it is like a cult classic, but I think it would have been more of like a mainstream hit if it came out probably 5 years later.
It has a very specific feel to it, and the only movie that has that same feeling is Bright, or no, not Bright.
Brightburn.
Brightburn. That movie has a very similar feel to that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That movie's fucking awesome. Fu says he lost weight recently, so my penis is my found footage. That's awesome.
Footage is a pretty damn.
What are we talking? 16 millimeter film, or like what are we talking about?
I was playing the pun off of the word foot in there. That's pretty exaggerating. All right, Eric, what's number 3?
All right, this one's the real oddball one. You guys might be familiar with a Japanese movie called Pulse from 2001, which is not found footage. However, at some point, when I was looking at the Wikipedia page or something for Pulse, I'm like, oh, there's a Turkish remake of Pulse called Dabe. And I watched it, and it was actually pretty good. So I'm like, okay. No. But there's sequels.
There's a journey here, Flip. Come on.
Yes, there's a journey. So the sequel to Dabe is Dabe 2. That movie sucked. Then there was Dabe 3, Birsin Vakasi, all right, from 2012. and that one is found footage, and it's surprisingly good.
I love that we started with Pulse in 2001 and went to Dabe 3 in 2012.
I'm telling you, it's no joke.
Dude, that got so weird. That got so weird because I was like, all right, cool, a Turkish remake, what? And then you're like, not found footage.
And I watch every one of this guy's. I can't even pronounce his name. This Turkish director's films. Whenever I could get a hold of them, because they're real odd and like a demonic and stuff. But this one, Dabe 3, is like, it's similar to something like a Paranormal Activity in terms of its camera work, the overall plot, but it's better than like the Paranormal Activity films, just in terms of overall quality. Like you have some. It's just like the execution's just there. You know, it goes for like an anti-claustrophobic feel. I'm not sure how the typical Turkish family's residence is, but this particular family's house, like there's a huge living room, which is like the main base of operations there. So it feels very like open space in its horror aesthetic, which I found to be really interesting. And like just like if you go through the plot points, there's similar things that you'd see in a lot of other found footage films, but it just really works in this. There's some really highlight scenes near the end. Like even like you'll see like when they start explaining why these people are experiencing these supernatural phenomena. It's pretty neat. I liked it. So if anybody hasn't seen Dabe 3, there's actually 6
I think it's
Dabe
everybody.
Yeah, there's actually 6 of these Dabe films. 3 of them are on Netflix, by the way, or at least used to be. But I don't think the third one is. You might have to seek it out. But it's worth watching if you haven't seen it. It's pretty cool.
It's probably on Tubi with like Brazilian subtitles,
Maybe.
which would be Portuguese.
Or YouTube, yeah.
So Sardis just said research is the part of the film I enjoy most after that journey. And I would say, honestly, lately, I am falling with that part as well. Like my review of Detention, the movie was good, but then going down the rabbit hole of reading the booklet and learning about everything that happened in that period of time, it was so much more fulfilling than watching the movie. Anyways, my number, what was this, 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3. Is another one I tried to pick that you guys probably wouldn't say, and that is As Above, So Below. It is a U.S. horror film that is set in the French catacombs. And for my money, I think it has one of the creepiest set pieces for a modern set horror film of the last 20 years. They have some scenes that are literally wall-to-wall, like skulls in the background. There is lighting issues that they really are able to bring up the creep factor in that. And it's done in a lot of different ways that make it feel a lot more believable than some of these. It's like some of my honorable mentions. They're decent and entertaining movies, but either they fall apart at the end or they're just incredibly unbelievable, which I can suspend disbelief for a lot of these. But when it's found footage, a lot of that is supposed to be made to feel realistic. And so in this genre, that kind of plays a heavier weight for me than normal. So yeah, As Above, So Below is one that I think kind of has flown under the radar, and I don't really understand why. It is a really well-made film, top to bottom.
I think I saw that in theaters because that came out pre-pandemic, right?
Oh, it came out like a decade ago.
Yeah, well then, yeah, I definitely, because I remember getting my friend Jake to be like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, dude, we were going to go see a found footage movie, and it takes place in the French catacomb, which is a real setting too, which is wild. That's a real.
Yeah, it came
place.
out 2014.
Yeah, dude,
I've heard
it's
about
so
that
weird.
one I've heard about it for years, but I just never got around to checking it out.
It's worth it, and I believe it's streaming on Netflix. It was, at least.
It was. I watched it again recently. Recently, like last year or two. I love that movie. It's one of the best jump scares in any movie. Is in that. So
what's going on, Flex? And yeah, the jump scares on a lot of these, they are not. I don't see the jump scares in found footage movies to detract from the experience, although in some films that definitely can be the case for me. In found footage, because it's so realistic and you're literally placing your body into their shoes in a lot of these shoots, it's the jump scares, they kind of make sense.
My number 2, End of Watch.
Nice.
by David Ayer. The
Your favorite.
I have a really weird relationship with Ayer because when he is firing on all cylinders, he makes great movies. And to watch Fury are fucking awesome. I revisited Sabotage and I actually liked it.
Yeah, baby.
I did not like it the first go around, and I don't know if it was just I was just not in the right mind frame. But I went into it being like, all right, this movie's trashy, it's fun, it's supposed to be kind of funny, and I ended up fucking loving it. So yeah, but man, End of Watch, when you first see that movie, you know, it almost makes me want to say Blue Lives Matter. Like that's how good of a movie it is. That's how good of a movie it is. But it's not that good. It's not that great. But on a real note though, Jake Gyllenhaal, has he won an Oscar?
I don't think so.
It's mind blowing that he hasn't won an Oscar because I think that performance is top 3 Gyllenhaal. I think it's that, Prisoners, and honestly maybe Ambulance. He's coked up. He's playing a coked up guy.
Nightcrawler though.
Yeah.
Oh
like
fuck
the
yeah, that's right. Nightcrawler. Yeah, I forgot. So Nightcrawler is the best. Then I would say End of Watch. But yeah, End of Watch. What a cool, unique movie to have. A found footage movie be a cop movie. Did you guys
agree.
like End of Watch?
I love End of Watch. I think that it's good, and I think that it's also important to bring up Michael Pena. He also kills it in that film. Yeah, he. John says End of Watch is it's a stretch to call it found footage. You want to defend that at all?
I don't stretch.
Yes, I think that it's a really fun film. I think that it is nice to have something that's not like creepy, scary based on this list.
Yeah.
Oh man, just wait till you guys hear my number 1.
Number 2, Eric.
Number 2. All right. Okay, here's one. Here's a recent one for you. It made some waves online. It's a Korean film called Gonjiam Haunted Asylum from 2018. Nice. And again, this is another one where premise is pretty basic. Execution is the name of the game in this one. You get some people who, some, I guess, younger men and women who go to this place, this haunted asylum, and crap goes down. One thing I like about this is they actually strap the cameras onto themselves. So you don't have to ask the question, why are they still holding the camera? Because they're strapped on, so that no matter what happens, they're going to be filming stuff. So I kind of like when these documentary style films or found footage films kind of use something where it eliminates the need to understand why somebody's still holding the camera when they're in dire need or dire danger.
I'm sorry to interrupt. That is such a good comment. Foob says Flip's number 1 is One Night in Paris.
My last name is Paris for everybody who doesn't.
All right.
Oh man.
Oh, that's good. I actually made me cry a little bit. So good.
I have not gotten around to Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, but I do have it, and I'm really excited to watch that one.
It's good. There's not a lot that's new in it, but I think the setting is really good, and then it ramps up nicely where the scariest parts are near the end. There's some pretty freaky acting in it too that I really enjoyed. Yeah, I recommend it.
My number 2 is. This might be a big statement, so I don't. Oh, before I say this real quick, I just looked it up while we were talking. Jake Gyllenhaal has only ever been nominated for 1 Oscar
for Southpaw,
and it was Best Supporting Actor in Brokeback Mountain, and that's it.
That's a good movie, though. That's a great performance.
Yeah, amazing movie, but that is his only nomination, even. That's wild.
That's crazy. It's wild to me that he's been acting for so long and he looks so fucking.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Fu says Gonjiam Haunted Asylum was one of the most tense film moments I've ever seen. Nice. And Lissa says I really enjoyed it. Okay, so.
I wonder how many children he said.
Flip is delayed. My number two, this is the strong statement that I was about to make. I think that on all of the lists, this may be the best actual film. And my number two is Man Bites Dog. It is a French
Is
serial
Wilson
killer
new?
film that is set in it was God, that came out in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, I
And
think
it
early
is
90s.
yeah. It is currently on Criterion DVD, and I think that's the best way to track it down. And the crazy thing is, it looks beautiful on DVD. I can't imagine how good a 4K of that would look, because it is a black and white, all shot on film, great, really good footage, and it is just it is harrowing in ways that you cannot be prepared for, because the US has some of these side with the serial killer type films, like The Rise of Leslie Vernon, that a lot of people go to first. But this is one that is done in a way that is just cold, like going into an old lady's house and befriending her, and then needlessly murdering her, and you're there for all of it. And the entire film ramps up tension all the way to the very end, and it is filmed in so many different settings in France that it feels very dirty in a lot of different scenes, and not just in the sense of we're watching a serial killer, but in the sense of like they're hanging out in a rundown abandoned building, and that's where they get some of their footage. Oh, and I guess I forgot to share it. It's literally somebody going down and learning about this guy. That's how it's found footage. It's a lot of it's like documentary type footage, so it's literally being filmed, and it is. It can be a tough watch. It is filmed as, or it is lauded as one of those films that is so realistic that it's hard to watch, but it is done in a way that once you watch the first couple scenes, you absolutely have to be there until the end, and it just accomplishes some things that you are not ready for. And like John says, there is a scene where they murder a kid, and you don't see all of it, but it is. That scene in particular is just it's painful, and the way that they are almost attempting to get you they're almost attempting to get you to side with this person, but it is literally like an art house type film. It is great. It is a fantastic movie.
Love it when they murder kids in movies. Love it.
What?
Flip, for your birthday, I think we need to buy you new internet. We're filming at like 60 frames per second. You're filming at like 60 frames per hour.
Am I good now?
No.
It's like the anime
See, I'm just fucking with you with that. I was just fucking with you there. I like froze on purpose, like.
If only that was the case. See, and I agree with John here. The kid killing in Assault on Precinct 13 is way more effective and jarring, I think, than in Man Bites Dog. It's creepy and more realistic in Man Bites Dog, but that came out of nowhere in Assault on Precinct 13.
Ambulance starts off with a little girl being impaled with like a fence rod and a car crash. And I was like, what the fuck is this movie starting off?
I gotta watch that movie
now. My number one. Can you guys guess first? Can you guys guess? Do you guys want to guess each other's number one? What do you think my number one is?
Hardcore Henry.
Yeah.
Wow. That was kind of a blind guess.
Are you guys fucking with me, or am I that predictable?
No, you're that predictable.
Thanks. I'm gonna say Eric's number one is Noroi.
Yeah,
Noroi.
You're completely wrong.
Whoa.
He's got to look at his list and choose a different one now.
But yeah, Hardcore Henry, man. I have not seen a movie like that ever. That movie is fucking crazy. I didn't get to see it in theaters, sadly. I watched it on Netflix. Netflix not that long ago. And just what an adrenaline pumping thrill, right? That film. Just, isn't that ending? is fucking straight up out of an anime. It's crazy. That director went on and did Nobody. I don't think Hardcore Henry is found footage. It's just I mean,
Isn't
are we
it a
fucking-
recording? It literally
Yeah.
isn't it a recording?
yeah, it's a recording of. I mean, are we? Come on, Sean. Are we fucking splitting hairs here?
There is a difference between found footage and documentary style as well. If you really want
Right.
to nip.
And Man Bites Dog kind of has both, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I included it.
Well, I guess my pick is just stupid.
No, I agree with it because if I remember the plot right, it's an actual recording.
Yeah,
That they
it's like
can-
he uploaded it, right?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, he went on and directed Nobody. I hope he gets more work because he's obviously got a.
Oh, he will.
I can't pronounce his name. He's Russian. It's like Shisha or something like that. You know how Russian names are. But yeah, fucking awesome film. The sniper scene in the abandoned, I want to say like parking garage or whatever that building is so fucking awesome. It's just what a wild movie. What a wild movie. That's
And
my number one.
Not only just wild movie, wild to take that kind of a swing, because that sort of thing had never been done like that.
Did it start as a Kickstarter?
Oh,
I
don't
feel
know.
like that might have been a Kickstarter.
Could be.
But great film. I hope it gets a sequel.
That's
Probably
another
not.
example of a film that I needed a second viewing to appreciate. Because the humor threw me for a loop the first time I
Yes.
saw it. I did not like the humor. But the second time I saw it, I kind of was able to look past that and I enjoyed it a lot more.
And who's that actor? Sharto?
Copeland?
Charlton Copley, the guy from
He's-
District 9.
Yeah, he is great. And he feels like he's on coke that entire movie. He's just and then he plays different people too. That's the other part of that movie. That movie does have weird humor. I don't know if it's just like a regional type of humor because I feel like he has that sense of humor in a lot of the movies he's in. But man, what a great movie! I should show Taylor that. I feel like she'd be like, "What?" The
All right, Eric, tell us about Noroi.
I'm that freaking predictable, huh? Yeah, I'm picking Noroi, The Curse from 2005. We talked
I
about
couldn't
this.
have guessed it.
We talked about this months ago on a separate
man.
freaking video collab.
Great movie.
Yeah, I just the thing I really like about this is the mythos building and like the investigation stuff and how it kind of pieces things together. Like you'll see something early in the film and be like, "What the heck is that?" And then you see something related to it later, and you get creeped out. Yeah, this is a big one. Still not on Blu-ray, I don't think.
Nope.
Which is
It's on YouTube, though.
ridiculous. Yeah,
You can
And
watch the
it's
whole
on
thing for
Shudder
free.
too, I think.
yeah, that's true. And this director has made a bunch of found footage stuff, some of which is available, some of which isn't. But he never really reached the heights of Noroi. He's done like a lot of stuff that's just like Japanese urban legend stuff and some stuff that's a little bit more quirkier and has some black humor to it, which are interesting. But this is just the one that I always go back to. It's just it's gripping from start to finish. And it's like a true documentary style film. So yeah, it's my number one.
It's a great choice, and although it was predictable, it's predictable for a reason. It is a really, really tense film.
Let me guess yours, Ryan.
I honestly will give you like $50 in Amazon credit right now if you can guess my number one.
Oh, you're number one.
Really? Last broadcast.
That is a really good guess.
Ah,
Fuck. $50. All right, here we go.
You have 10 seconds. 9,
I don't know.
8, 7, 6.
The original Blair Witch Project.
That's a great guess. My number one is What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
Oh!
didn't even come to mind. That's a good one.
I think that it is something that redefined, obviously, a lot of cinema. It gave us Taika Waititi in a mainstream sense. It took Flight of the Conchords and brought their humor to a wider audience, since only like 17 of us watched Flight of the Conchords when it originally came out. It has some of the best humor that has ever been in a film. Legitimately, I think that it fits really nicely in the modern horror comedy blurring that we've had. It very much feels like a New Zealand version of like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It is fantastic and something that is obviously completely inspired a TV show that has redefined the genre there too. And that is something that I don't think can be discounted for what they've been able to pull into that TV show with a couple of their Vampire Council episodes. It's a really, really awe-inspiring film when you go back and watch it today because it really holds up. It is great. And now that everybody's like yelling for things in the comments, I wanted to defend a couple things. I said at the very beginning, there are 5 cornerstone films that I was not going to bring up. And on purpose, my 5: Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, Cloverfield, Wreck, and Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
Man, I thought I'm a basic bitch.
Basically. I think that those are, when you go back and watch those, they defined the found footage genre in different ways in those eras. And they built on things that came before them other than Cannibal Holocaust. I think Cannibal Holocaust really set the stage for what we could get later. And without that, we wouldn't have literally any of these films. Cannibal Holocaust is difficult to watch, especially knowing a lot of the truths behind it. It is also a film that a lot of people have never seen just because of the reputation. And that honestly is it's really sad because it deserves to be seen simply for its inspirational aspects. It is fantastic. It is something that is a rare moment in cinema that won't be able to be pulled off again. And since I'm holding the microphone for a second, I will say my other runner-ups that nobody else mentioned, because I do have some that run your guys' list. Lake Mungo is really good. It is either like the scariest thing you've ever seen, or it's just kind of good. The other one that was like Searching that I was going to bring up, Host, is surprisingly well done for a pandemic film. And then the last one, it is not that great of a film, but it is surprisingly entertaining. The Last Exorcism. Have either of you guys seen The Last Exorcism?
I like that movie. I think it's underrated.
It is. One of the main reasons why I didn't include it is, like I said, the realism aspect of found footage. I love their setup, and then the last 5 minutes of that movie, they shit all over it, and it's just completely ruined. And that's because they were going for like a shocking ending. But the lead, I will never remember her name. It's Ashley something. The lead character, she does some crazy stuff. But the whole idea of pitching all of this around, showing the sham behind exorcisms, it's such a great idea, and it's so well done. That's agree. My high horse. I will jump off.
I was just thinking how cool it would be if there was like a samurai found footage.
That would be very difficult to make sense.
You know what? Just write a script, have someone teleport back in time, and just leave it. Just never talk about teleportation again. Just do it for the sake of that.
G.I. Samurai first found.
Oh shit! Yeah, G.I. Samurai. There you go. Reverse G.I. Samurai. That movie's so.
Let's do a remake and name it A Kid in Genghis Khan's Court.
Hey. Hey, I'm sitting here with Genghis Khan. You know, just have like fucking Joe Pesci go back in time. Yeah, I'm sitting here with Genghis. Oh, sorry, I meant Changus. It's Genghis Khan. Get a load of this fucking ginger, because he was supposed to be ginger, right? You ever see a fucking redheaded Chinese man before?
Ashley Bell, that's the name. You're right.
How do you guys feel about the VHS series?
A little, I don't know. I have a thing against obnoxious characters, which is why Sabotage surprised me that I enjoyed it. It's like an exception. Like VHS has a lot of obnoxious characters. I like the one that Gareth Evans and Timo did. I like that segment. That's probably my favorite segment of the first 3 VHS films. Haven't seen the most recent one though.
supposed to be good. Timo apparently directed a really
Yeah.
great segment. So Timo's busy, dude. He's doing a remake of
Train to Busan.
what's the yeah, he's doing the Train to Busan, and then he's doing a remake of that Steven Seagal movie. The one with the ship.
Under Siege?
Yeah, Timo's doing a remake of Under Siege, and he wants to
You
cast.
gotta let him cut loose with the violence. Man. You gotta let him
Yes,
cut loose.
and
now
he
what
wants
I
to
hope-
hire Julia Steele as the
That's
lead.
what I'm hoping for, is that maybe he gets a little bit of clout, goes back to Indonesia, and makes his Night Come for a spinoff that he's been wanting to make that nobody gave him
Well,
enough money
he
to make.
teased it again. He posted a picture of he posted a
Let me go through some of these comments since I missed some of
me
these.
as well.
Let's see. Eric says he saw Man Bites Dog when it came out. That's awesome.
Wow.
I love a lot of these titles are going to be coming up soon. Like John was really trying to get me to say Cannibal Holocaust. Scolder's here. What's going on, Scolder? Foo says, I honestly think Blair Witch is up there. It's executed so well, it scared the shit out of me when I saw it in theater. And that's, yes, it is absolutely a cornerstone film for this. It is something that it's, other than Cannibal Holocaust, it is the perfect example of people thinking that it was actually real. It literally, the marketing behind that was amazing. The fact that they got college campuses to think that people were actually missing is perfect.
You know what got me on that film wasn't the actual film itself. It was the documentary that aired on the Sci-Fi Channel like a month before the film came out.
Why are you sideways, Flip?
I don't know. I'm just a sideways type of guy, you know? I don't know what the... There we go.
There we go. Food for Thought also brought up the Poughkeepsie tapes. That one, I think I lived it up too much, or hyped it up too much in my mind before I saw it. I need to see it again and be a little more open-minded, because I thought, like, this is going to be a masterpiece, because everybody told me it was amazing, and then it just didn't live up to that.
I do want to go back and say, Eric, fingers crossed, I hope he does Night of the Opera. I hope Timo gets to really make that happen.
What? Which one?
Night of the Operator? The sequel to
Man, I
Night
want it
Comes for Us.
so bad. We were lucky to get The Night Comes for Us because it got canceled back in 2014. Couldn't get enough money, and they eventually got it made, which was a miracle. So, hey, I'll take anything, you know?
That movie's awesome. You haven't seen it, Ryan?
Not yet.
It's fun.
I'm sorry. You asked about VHS. I think just like a lot of anthology series, there are good segments, but none of the movies truly are like great. I totally agree with John. The Taking of Deborah Logan was pretty damn scary.
Yeah.
I put that one in the thumbnail for tonight because it's good, and I completely thought a lot of people would maybe bring that up. It's a good one. But yeah, VHS is really good. There's also there is a sort of indie series going on that not a lot of people have talked about called The Fear Footage. And I think they've released 3 of them so far. I've only watched the first 2, but it's basically just a handful of friends making these very similar to VHS style films, where it's, I think the first one was a cop going into a house because they got a call that it was being robbed or something like that. And he sees something going on, and then the TV pops on, and it starts like the tape goes into the VCR and it starts playing, and then you see the segment that it plays. And then eventually, like, scary things start happening to the cop between segments, and it's really good. But for an indie, it's surprisingly really well made. Yeah, I wouldn't put it up there even in like the top 25 or anything like that, but it's worth seeking out. What's funny?
I'm just thinking. I was listening to Scatman earlier. You know that song?
Yes.
And I was thinking of a skit in my mind, and I just rethought of it. How funny would it be if a dude was just like, "Hey," like he's in like a office, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard the song on the radio. It's really good. Have you heard it? What song?" And he's like, "I don't know what it's called, but it goes skibby scabba dabba dabba." Just starts doing that to describe the song. I don't know why that makes me laugh.
The movie Nothing But Trouble with Martin Lawrence and Tim Robbins, there is a scene, or not Nothing But Trouble. That's not what it's called.
No,
I thought
that's
this-
a really
I
bad
thought you were-
movie.
I know that you're about to say it's a found footage movie, and I was like, wait, what?
No, it's Scatman related. Now I can't think of the actual title. Fuck. It's very similar to Nothing But Trouble.
Nothing to Lose.
Nothing to Lose. That's it. Thank you. Hilarious comedy, very 90s. It's super dated. There's a scene where Martin Lawrence accidentally catches Tim Robbins' shoe on fire, and they bump the radio, and the Scatman's playing, and he's dancing, and it's like one of the cornerstone moments of that film.
That's a great. Oh, speaking of 90s movies, you remember what's that movie where they send the kids to fat camp? Ben Stiller's in it.
Heavyweights.
You could not make that today. You know how fucking mean they are to those kids? They're like, you fat pieces of shit. It's just like, whoa. I actually rewatched that recently, and it was hilarious. But I was like, whoa, you cannot.
It hits a lot different today.
A lot different. John
also said Collingswood Story is good.
Never even heard of that.
It's one of the Cauldron Films releases.
Okay.
A few other ones that I remember are The Last Broadcast.
Yep.
One Cut of the Dead half counts.
Yeah.
Half counts. There's a Japanese film from 1988 that's on YouTube, I think, called Psychic Vision. And it's the earliest found footage film I've been able to find out of Japan that's kind of interesting to watch. And then the director of Noroi made a bunch of stuff that's pretty interesting.
Nice.
Back when I had every release of...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, back when I had every release of Dimensions Extreme, Diary of the Dead. I mean, it doesn't hold up now, but back in the day, I actually enjoyed it.
That's George A. Romero at one of his lowest. But obviously, there's still some good parts in it, for sure. There's some good ideas. He just ran out of steam. Stendhal says, I remember there were a couple low-budget horrors done completely on video calls, Skype, and Zoom that were okay for watching. And I will say, everybody shits on Unfriended, but the sequel, I can't remember what it's called, but the sequel is actually
Refriended.
So much... That'd be funny. It's defriended.
Add me back.
Right swiped.
There you go. Right as I was saying that, Fu says the unfriended movies are guilty pleasures. I think the second one is much better. Let's see what it was called.
Now, if you guys had a decent budget, what found footage movie would you pick? What style?
I actually have a there it is. Fu says Unfriended Dark Web. It's a terrible title, but it's a much better film.
That's not a good title in today's climate.
I've got an idea that I've been working on for a few years, actually, for a found footage film that would center around a doppelganger story. And again, I love doppelganger.
I love him too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I don't know. I feel like what I want to bring back are supernatural zombies. Do found footage with like supernatural zombies. Like bring back the Italian zombies. Give them some. You got to mix it up. Give them some extra, maybe like telekinesis powers and crap.
The zombies that go like this. They're like walking around going like this.
Yeah.
The Italian zombies.
They drink J&B and they
And when you stab them, olive oil comes out.
Yeah. I'm serious. Why not?
I would love a found footage movie, and I've had an idea about this for a few years where it's an undercover cop going in, like he's part of like a gang, and they go in for like a drug deal, and it goes sideways, and it's just him going to try to fight his way out. Like they go into a building, and it's just him trying to fight his way out, and it's a bloodbath. I think that would be cool. And you could mix in like security camera footage with it. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I could see that and see The Raid done as a found footage film.
Oh man, yeah.
That'd be tough to execute, but
yep.
Although you could edit. That's right. I keep thinking one take, but yeah, you could edit it and make it nice.
The choreography behind it would be intense, I'm sure. John says Lindsay refers to them as infected people. Yes.
Hey, we got this infected guy over here.
For some reason, still Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci zombie movie? Hey, what are you, some kind of zombie?
Hey, I'm dying here.
Hey, this fucking gabagool cocksucking motherfucker bit me.
Wow. I love it.
I love it too. What a short king.
All right. Anything else that you guys want to bring up other than found footage?
I want someone to do a found footage documentary, but it's a guy just falling around Steven Seagal.
I can't right now because there's sanctions on Russia.
Is he over there still?
It's Steven Seagal, I imagine, somewhere.
If you guys want to hear a British guy do a Steven Seagal impression, listen to Talking Swords on Apple iTunes. It's Spotify because John does a fucking really solid 5-second Steven Seagal impression. And I want to hear you two do a Steven Seagal impression.
Oh, God. That would not be successful.
Try it. Just try it. Just let's have fun. We're loosey-goosey.
I haven't heard Steven Seagal speak in like 12 years because I've never liked Steven Seagal.
What about you, Eric?
That was pretty close.
He does actually make that noise a lot.
I'm trying to think of like Under Siege 2. Like Under Siege 2. What would
Stendhal
say?
said The Den from 2013 was one of them that wasn't bad. I don't even remember
Oh.
hearing about that film. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Talks a lot like this.
Ah.
I met with the Dalai Lama. He's like Trump if Trump had like smoked 10 times.
Oh, I got one from Hard to Kill. Hard to Kill. Okay, he's sitting on the bed, and he says, "What has he said? I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. The blood bank."
Dude, we have to do top 25 favorite Steven Seagal movies one day.
God, I have to watch a lot of shit for that.
You haven't even seen Baby Car at the River Styx yet. So,
It's a good call.
hour 26, guys. Took me an hour 26 to bring it up this week. Isn't the show where Seagal a cop found footage? Yeah, well, technically, yeah. Tom Segura has a joke that he switches the way he talks for black people, and I rewatched footage of that show, and he literally does. He'll walk up to black people and be like, "What are you players doing, huh? What are you guys up to these days?" And they're just like, "Nothing, dude. Go away." Are you fucking Steven Seagal?
I love that 2 people in a row commented about his local cop show.
Dude, what if like someone needs to write a book about him because he lived in Japan, had a dojo, came to America, made movies. You call them movies.
His daughter was in the Gamera films.
What?
You didn't know that? His daughter was in the Gamera trilogy from the 90s.
The Heisei trilogy. Wow. Okay.
Look her up.
What the fuck? He was on a cop TV show, and then he had his own TV show on like El Rey Network or something, like some like actual drama. I don't know.
His
What the
son
fuck
was in
that?
Death Trance with Tak Sakaguchi.
Oh my! What?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
You have
Wow.
just blown Flip's mind twice.
dude! So me and Boo talked about this today. Steven Seagal and Tak Sakaguchi. Tak is way cooler, in my opinion, than Steven Seagal. They're actually a talented martial artist. But Steven Seagal is like the dude who just thought he was so fucking cool in high school, who never got punched in the face, and he was allowed to just keep that mentality into his 70s.
Yep.
And Tak is like that too, but the rumor is Tak is a street fighter. He used to beat the fuck out of people. So he actually got into the fight there. But yeah, Steven Seagal is so fun.
You know, everybody brought up his reality local cop show, and it got me thinking, are there any scripted found footage TV shows? Not reality shows, scripted found footage TV shows.
I mean, the Kardashians is a horror TV show, for sure.
Well, and a lot of that is scripted, but not, you know what I mean, not
Yeah.
scripted like that.
Ghost Hunters? One of those?
Oh, wait, is that the guy Zach? Is it Zach? Not Zach Braff, but the guy, the Ghost Hunter Zach, who's really aggressive. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That dude fucking is so funny because he'll walk in, he'll be like, He's such a bro too. He's wearing the Affliction t-shirts in all the episodes, and he's like, "If there's any ghosts in here, you better fuck right off. We're not fucking around." Is there
Who
a
says,
porn?
is there a porn star called Tak Sakakuchi?
No, no. But there is a porn star called Benedict Cumberbatch.
For real?
No.
Oh, he's so good. Foo's so good with dad jokes. He's like, at the end of the podcast, he goes, "Why don't we name our podcast Yo Jim Bro?" And I was like, whoa.
Ben says there was a scripted found footage show on ABC about a nature show going down the Amazon. Interesting. A show about a nature show? Yeah, the Sacrament, Ty West, again, one of the best.
Did you see X?
Not yet. I planned to go one night, and then our previous plans, one of our friends, he talks way too long, and we couldn't get to a theater in time.
I just got to say, shut the fuck up. I'm going to go see a movie.
The hard part is we were there celebrating his promotion, so we were kind of at his mercy.
Be like, I don't give a fuck.
Now you can pay for my movie ticket.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if it's just because of the restaurant, but I've gotten to the point where if I'm done talking to you, I will just walk. I will just turn around. Like this happened at the post office. This guy was talking to me about ordering food on my day off. This was months ago. Just talking to me about ordering food like a week in advance. And I was like, yeah, just call us or text me, whatever. And he's kept going. And I was just like, I just walked away. Like, all right, see ya. I don't got time. I love this music that's in the background.
You're welcome. I made it myself.
Yeah, Eric's like, all right, I'm done with you guys. See you, nerds. Eric, how the hell have you been, though, bud? What's new? How's life?
I've been good. Very good.
You should tell him about your food that you did.
Oh, my Mexican food. I got sent down to Texas near the border. Got some good Mexican breakfast food. Real good.
Nice. What's in a Mexican breakfast?
I had 3 of them, different days. There's one that had fajitas and eggs and stuff, which was great. Then there was a huevos rancheros, and then there was one with it was chorizo and eggs a la Mexicana. It was great.
Chorizo and eggs go so good together.
Just like Midnight Run, baby. Chorizo and eggs.
There's a reason why Mexico's the fattest country in the world. We're not even number one at that anymore, dude.
We're working on it.
Me and Ryan, we're gonna be the ones that tip the scale, brother. Dude, I've gained weight, but like I'm going to the gym. I'm just not doing cardio. I'm just lifting weights. It's like I don't care if I'll be 400 pounds. I'm gonna bench press 5.
Stendhal says, did Gareth Evans do that found footage short of the doc on a cult in Indonesia on VHS too?
Yeah, he co-directed it with Timo.
How do you say his last name?
Timo Giganto, maybe?
I always pronounced it Bull. Timo Bull.
Oh my god, you're such a fucking nerd. I love you. What a dork. You see this guy?
I do my best. My oldest has finally understood sarcasm and puns, so every time he says something, I just fuck with him, and he hates it, and it's so funny.
Yeah, I fuck with my kid too. Constantly shit, saying puns.
My cousin's son, we had like a birthday party a few months ago. We made like a sexual innuendo, and everybody started laughing, and the kids started laughing too. I look over at the kid, I'm like, what are you laughing about? He's like, I have no idea. And he just kept laughing. I thought that was pretty funny.
Kids are the best when it comes to that stuff because they just don't get it. They're just like, you guys are happy? I'm happy. Let's do it.
Yeah.
What do you guys are you guys excited to watch anything this week? You guys got your movies laid out?
Ooh, I got family events going on, but what do I got lined up? Let me look at my little Word doc, my Microsoft Word doc. I got I still have to watch Attack on Titan episode 87.
Dude. Dude,
Don't tell
oh.
me. There's a Hong Kong thriller on Netflix called Hand Rolled Cigarette that's supposed to be
Yes,
really good.
People were hyping that up on the Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Facebook. They were saying this is a great movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'm looking forward to that. Those are some of the big ones. Oh, I still have to crack into Pat Labor, the TV series that I got. Oh, and I bought some mech anime, the first Gundam, and then Gundam
Zeta?
08. The eighth?
08 MS team?
Yeah.
Yes. That is that's a phenomenal anime.
And then
if anyone's interested in Gundam, get that. You got photos?
Votums. VOTOMS.
Votums.
Votums.
Yeah, Votums is awesome. Another good mecha series.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah, I love Gundam. I have every Blu-ray release of Gundam. It's a lot of mecha shit. It's a lot. Ryan, do you like anime?
So, anyways, I'm still I'm not against it. I've just never jumped in.
Last Life says Armor Trooper Photons is also really thrilling. If you want something goofy, Eric, I would recommend getting like Combattler V.
Okay.
Fun. It's a very fun series. I'm gonna be watching a lot of ninja movies this week.
Ooh, American Ninja?
No, God. I'm gonna be watching Castle of the Owls. Have you seen that, Eric?
I think I have.
It's an Aichi Kudo film.
Okay.
And then I've been going on. I think Hideo Gosha, Eric, and I want to see if you feel the same way about me. I think he's just as good as Akira Kurosawa.
Yep.
I think he is so fucking underrated. I'm constantly finding out about movies that he did that when I go to watch them, I'm like, oh, I'm expecting like, a mid-level movie, and it ends up being like a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been watching a lot of his movies. Hunter in the Dark. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And then I always return to Gyoken or Goyoken, however you pronounce it. That scene towards the end where they're wearing the demon mask and they're drumming right before the final duel is just it's so good. And I don't understand why he doesn't have the following. As like I think he's better than Masaki Kobayashi, which might be pushing it. I agree. But I think Hideo Gosha is far better than Masaki Kobayashi, and I think he's on par with Akira Kurosawa.
Tenchu is another good one too.
Oh yeah, Tenchu's great. That's another movie I'm gonna be rewatching this week. But yeah, he's just. So I messaged Film and I sent Ryan this screenshot. I said, "Hey, when are the Hideo Gosha movies coming? Because they're doing Samurai, Wolf 1 and 2, and then Violent Streets, I think."
Oh, gotta get Violent. Violent Streets is one of my favorites, man.
So I said, "Hey, when are they coming out?" And they said they're all coming out at the end of the summer. And I said, like in a box set, and they were just like, there might be theatrical. There might be a theatrical release for these movies, and I was like, you're not saying yes. I just wrote very cheeky of
you.
Yeah. No, it's not the same Tenchu as a PS2 game. I think Gosha's Tenchu is like 70s, might be earlier.
Yeah, it's older.
But did you know that Gyoken was originally going to be in a Yojimbo sequel, but Mifune backed out because he had scheduling conflicts. I did learn something really funny. Shitaro Katsu was supposed to be in Kagemusha. He was supposed to be the star, and he showed up on Akira Kurosawa's set, coked out of his mind, and brought his own film crew and started directing his own scenes. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Eric, I have watched so many of his recommendations, and he hasn't watched a single one of my recommendations.
I've not watched a single one. Man. I have watched one.
Well, I've
watched like 6 of his recommendations recently. Hey, and he's batting 100%. He is batting 100%. Ryan's got great taste.
I try.
Just knock out Lone Wolf and Cub. Just one a week for like 6 weeks. Knock it out.
It's hard.
I'm hard. Are you guys excited for Shin Ultraman?
I know that you never read the description of these things before I post them, Flip, but the description for today says, how many times will Flip bring up Lone Wolf and Cub? Find out tonight.
I liked Shin Godzilla. I enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to Shin. They didn't make sure they need to up the action in Ultraman, I think, though. Gotta have enough action in an Ultraman. And
then he's doing Shin Kamen Rider. So from what I understand is that Hideaki Anno didn't direct Shin Ultraman. Someone else is directing it. He wrote the script. So, but hey, his batting average is pretty high for me. So,
yeah.
Have any of you seen Sorum, 2001?
It's a Korean horror film. I thought it was okay. I think I need to revisit it though. It's been so long. It's kind of like a slow burn psychological horror film. I would say it's worth watching, but it's definitely kind of you got to be prepared for the slow burn for that one.
We should do another episode, the three of us together. Top 5 non-Argento Giallo.
Ooh.
Because I've gone ham on the Giallo. And I want to be able to...
On the show, you haven't mentioned any of them. What are some that you've
I haven't mentioned any of them because I want to do a video on my channel. But I will say, I do think Argento is the best director of that genre. I think he's just...
What are you liking about Giallo this time?
One, they're violent. I think that's a selling point. But also, I think it's a mood. I think you just it's a vibe that I can just get along with. It's the music. It's especially the colors. Argento's colors in his movies are they're so vibrant, ridiculous. And I do like a good murder mystery. But it's like a lot of these are like murder mysteries if you did acid. And I really
they're like Friday the 13th if it was a true murder mystery. They're murder mystery slashers, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I really do think Argento he's the Akira Kurosawa equivalent of Giallo movies. Like he is just the master. You watch any of his movies, or the ones I've seen so far, which have only been the Arrow releases. But yeah, just great. I'm really having a lot of fun.
I agree. They're all really good. I think for me the biggest thing is literally the mystery aspect. I've always enjoyed that.
Yep. And also, I mean, so
we need to get you some sort of studio where you can speak freely.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I've seen
Eric. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The huge tracts of land. He's talking about the nudity.
Oh,
Yeah.
Edwig Fenech.
I love that he started to whisper.
Edwig Fenech, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Edwig Fenech, or however you say her name's amazing. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Yeah, John's comment here: style and sleaze over substance. It's perfectly stated.
The remake of Suspiria still sticks in my mind. That movie, that ending, was just fucking wild.
It was good.
Never seen anything like it. Just a bunch of naked women praying, and then just a demon walk around exploding them. Fucking awesome. Has that guy done anything else? Has that director done anything else?
It's the guy that did Call Me By Your Name, right?
Is it?
Let me see.
Is it really?
So.
Holy shit.
I think so. Yeah, it's Luca Guadagnino. And yeah, he did Call Me By Your Name, Suspiria. let's see. He did a whole bunch of We Are Who We Are, the TV show. Bigger Splash, a whole bunch of shorts and documentaries. A film called I Am Love. But really, I mean, Call Me By Your Name was his first main thing.
Isn't it weird how film industries changed so much over time? Like Italy from the 70s, and you compare it to what it is in the 2010s, like it's not even remotely similar.
I mean, look at Hong Kong too, Eric. Like,
yeah, South Korea, same thing, but that was more of a positive change in South Korea.
Yeah, Korea is just fun. They're awesome. Oh my god, my dad, we were watching the Grammys and BTS comes on, and my dad sincerely, because he doesn't know, goes, "Hey, aren't these guys from North Korea?" I had to sit down because I was about to piss myself. It was so funny. I was like,
"You're about to spend a year and a half training to fight North Korea."
Have you seen the Cube remake? I think it's from South Korea. I didn't even know that had gotten released yet. I heard that they were working on it.
It's a Japanese film, I think. I haven't seen it yet.
We've had a couple people work for us who are BTS stans. Weirdly. So
Bandmate, baby. Bandmate destroys BTS.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Destroys them.
But we have had two females work for us that are young, like 18, 19. And when BTS has come on TV, they were like freaking out. So my dad is just like, "What's up with these boys? Why are girls so crazy for them?" I'm like, "Aren't they pretty?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess they are pretty." I do like BTS though.
I didn't know that Cube remake got released already, and it's got Masaki Okada from Drive My Cars in it as well.
Huh.
Did you see Drive My Car, Eric?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Very long.
I thought the opening half hour is a little dodgy, but after that, it really picks up nicely.
Who's the guy in Parasite, the poor dad in that movie? Who's that actor? The one that drives a car.
I never remember his name.
Oh, the guy who drives the car, Song Kang-ho.
Yeah. Did you see? There's a poster of him in another movie where he's driving a car. That guy is just always driving a fucking car.
He was in Taxi Driver. He drove a car.
Yeah, exactly. He's just
driving.
God, he needs to win an Academy Award for Best Driver, because he's always just driving a car.
He's great.
Yeah, he's awesome. What a great actor.
They are doing an American Best Song contest where each state has a representative do a song. The Oklahoma rep is a K-pop star. Oklahoma. Interesting.
I would love to hear some country remix of these K-pop songs, like Dynamite. Like, man, Dynamite.
Oh, Bandmate is touring the U.S. in October. I'm seeing him 3 times.
Jeez.
Where are they playing at?
They got a decent variety. There's like a dozen or maybe 14 play. I'm flying out to Dallas. I'm going to see him in Houston. I'm going to see him in Boston.
God damn.
Yo, Ryan, me and you should drive up to Boston, go see Bandmate, hang out there.
I would love to go out to Boston.
They're legit.
We'll go see Mark Wahlberg too.
Oh man. Never mind. Too many Mark Wahlberg racism.
Well, we need to keep Mark Wahlberg away from Bandmate. He might blind me.
Yes, please.
That was the joke I was gonna make. So okay. Last Life should do that.
Yeah, but I would have to film from like up here because I'm the shortest of the bunch. How tall are you, Eric?
I'm only like 5'9".
Okay, so you're still like 3 inches taller than me, so I'm gonna have to be like...
Wow.
I'll stand on your shoulders, Eric, and we'll still be almost as tall as Ryan.
Be like Master Blaster from Mad Max.
Oh man.
On that note, thank you everybody for watching. This has been a really fun episode. Why not?
Oh man, that just made me cry. And
every 20 seconds there's awkward silence. We're gonna have another great show next week, and we will see you next time. So thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you then.